I've been telling everybody that we're going to call her Jasmine online because of her hair and her desire to be Jasmine. Jasmine will be her pseudonym. Hey everybody! Let's make coffee for mommy. I need it. Hello. This is empty. You just want to shop, right? And yours? Load me up. Who's a pretty girl? Hi, sweet girl.
Some pictures of your parents.
That's right. Hey guys.
You gave us what they're gonna love it.
That's right. Morning. How's the newest member of the family? She's very good. She is having a photo shoot with Daddy right now because that's what we do now, which is great. Oh no, Kayla, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that one's for a different vibe, you know. Hey, Liz. Hello, hello. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, we're making the coffee so that I can survive the day. Oh yeah, Kayla, we'll be back to it in March. Making slime. Yeah. She was just saying that she had a putty from somewhere else and she wanted to try slime from me instead, and that would be wonderful. We'll do it in March. Just in time for your birthday? Oh, when's your birthday? Hey, Heather. All right. Coffee for Daddy. All right, I am ready for coffee. Oh, 3:26. My brother's birthday is the 30th of March. Oh, yes. Jess's 2-year-old is obsessed. But hey, we take them as they come, right? Whatever age they're ready for it. Like I always tell everyone, Zoe was able to play with slime at like 1.5, but Ethan is 1.5 and he still puts things in his mouth. So no slime for Ethan. Every kid is different and just go with what's right for you, you know? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think I'm doing okay. I think I do look pretty okay for postpartum mom. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a lovely compliment. I think I am doing okay. I don't look too haggard. Oh, come on, coffee. Do your thing. I want to drink of you. The life source. Thank you, Anya. 14, 12, 7, and 3. Whoa! That is quite a range. Does your 14-year-old love playing with your 3-year-old? When I was 14, I did a lot of babysitting. I liked the little toddler age at that age. Hey, Nikki. Yes. Oh, good. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Now that you're caught up. Hey, Sophie. We can. I'm interested to see now what happens with this chapter because the previous chapters had all been like one per sister and then they all were in one or whatever. Let me just look for this.
I've taken the worst picture of our daughter ever.
Oh no, let me see this worst picture. Delete it. No photo approval from her. She said, Daddy, why? How could you do this to me and make me look this way?
Well, and right after I took the second worst one ever.
Oh my gosh, why are you tormenting our baby with horrible photos of her?
Okay. Who's taking all the good photos too?
That's fair. Good job, Daddy. Daddy does take amazing photos of the baby. But we will not show anyone the mean ones.
I'm sorry, honey.
Don't show the grandparents that one.
I sent them good ones already.
All right. Because currently everyone believes that she is the prettiest baby that ever existed. And I agree. But if you show them that picture, it might become debatable.
Daddy's sorry, it's not available.
All right. I did have her. Yeah, she came a smidgety early. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's just do a little bit of reading. We do have a doctor's appointment today, so we can't stay a long time, but we'll get a little bit done, which is good. It's always good to have a little reading in the morning. It's good for the soul, good for your brain. All right. Oh, you know what's really nice for mommy? Check this out. I get to sit cross-legged again. It's been a long time for me. No, sorry, we're not showing the baby. No, we're so if you want to call her something on here, you can call her Gracelyn, which is a funny joke name that we have for her, or you can call her Jasmine, which is her favorite princess. Those are all great names for her. Secret baby, that is also fine. Yes, I know, cross-legged. Hi, Grandma. Grandma's here. Good morning, Grandma.
Well, Grandma didn't look at her phone for
You should check your phone, Grandma. Daddy sent you morning pictures of Miss Thing. Grandma calls her Miss Perfect. You can also call her that. We would accept that as an online name for her as well, right, babe?
What?
Grandma calls her Miss Perfect online, so I think we can also accept that as a name for her.
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that you think so. I wasn't thinking so, but I appreciate that you think so. Yes, she is Little Miss Perfect. That's what Grandma calls her, so everyone else is welcome to join Grandma in calling her that. It's a good moniker for her. Jonathan watched yesterday morning with me and he said he loves Sasha. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Well, you're the closest in age to her right now in our book club, so I can understand why you would want to, you know, hang out with her. You guys are pretty close in age, all things considered. You're definitely a big kid by comparison, but as far as book club goes, you are the closest. Hello, hello. All right, so we are on chapter 5 today, my friends, and let us see what our girls are getting into today. You deserve it after yesterday, Renee. All right, what will our ladies get into today? I do not know, but we will find out. Sister, sister, look around. Something's lost and must be found. A spell to find what can't be found, requiring a pinch of salt and a sharp eye. Agnes Amaranth lies awake long after her sister's story. She thinks about witching and wanting and thrones without heirs and babies unborn. She thinks about the second pulse in her belly and the memory of Pennyroyal on her tongue. She must fall asleep eventually because when she opens her eyes, she sees the sunrise tiptoeing into the room. Bile bubbles in her throat and she retches into a chamber pot as quietly as she can. Neither of her sisters stir. Bella's mouth is crimped tight, even in sleep, as if her lips are untrustworthy things. The last time Agnes saw her, she was weeping silently as she packed her things, watching Agnes with her eyes huge and sad, as if she didn't deserve every bit of what she got. Clearly, she's landed on her feet, working in a fancy library with her beloved books. Juniper sleeps in a heedless, childlike sprawl, all elbows and knees. The toes of her left foot are curled with scars, the puckered flesh reaching up her ankle in a shape almost like fingers. Agnes wonders how long it took to heal and if it hurts. Her eyes fall on the battered brass locket lying against Juniper's collarbone. Okay, sir, you're interrupting story time with your loud engine. Thank you. That was unnecessary. We're having story time. You could drive quietly. Thank you. All right, bye, Kayla. We'll see you later. Her eyes fall, bless you, on the, bless you again.
Oh, bless you.
Bless you so many times. Her eyes fall on the battered brass locket lying against Juniper's collarbone, and she remembers it swinging from Mags's neck, the way she holds it sometimes and looked up at the mountains with her eyes misted over. Mags never talked much about the daughter she lost, their mother, who drew her last breath just as Juniper drew her first, but Agnes could see her mother in the shape of her grandmother's silences, the scabbed over places, the wounded days when Mags stayed in bed with quilts piled high. Agnes lights the stove and cuts the butter into a skillet, letting it pop and sizzle while the others wake. They stretch and yawn, watching her cracked eggs and boil coffee. Oh, yeah? They take their tin plates in silence. Juniper eats like it's been days since she last saw a square meal. Bella picks at her food, staring out the window. Agnes breathes carefully through her mouth and tries not to look at the slick jelly of the egg whites. When the food is gone, there's nothing to do but leave, to part ways, to settle back into their own stories and forget about the lost tower and the lost sisters. None of them moves. Juniper fidgets, trailing her finger through some of the runny yolk as it dries. So, Agnes pretends she's speaking to a stranger, just another boarding house girl passing through. Where will you go now? She's hoping Juniper will say, straight to hell, back home. Or maybe even to find good honest work like my big sister. But no. Instead, her mouth curls up with a reckless little smile and she says, I'd join up with those lady suffragettes as fast as I can. And Bella's eyes swivel away from the window for the first time. She covers her mouth with her palm and faintly says, oh my. Agnes resists the urge to roll her eyes. Why? So you can wear a fancy dress and wave a sign and get laughed at? Don't waste your time. Juniper's smile hardens. Voting doesn't seem like a waste of time to me. She's still fooling with the egg yolk, swirling it into gummy circles, and Agnes's stomach heaves. Look, all that votes for women stuff sounds like real noble and all, but they don't mean women like you and me. They just mean uptown nice ladies with the big hats and too much time on their hands. It doesn't matter to you or me who gets to be mayor or president anyhow. Juniper struggles at her sudden childish, and Agnes drops her voice lower. Daddy's dead, June. You can't piss him off anymore.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
She's loving it.
She loves the story?
She loves it.
No, I know. She was loving it yesterday, too. I told you. She's super into story time. She likes hearing the voices.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't remember.
No, it's fine. She loves it. I told you. I was like, this is her jam. She's done it every day of her life so far. Juniper's head snaps up, eyes boiling green, hair tangled like a black hedge of roses around her face. You think I still give a single shit about him? She hisses so hot and mean that Agnes thinks she must give 2 or 3 shits about him, at least. Someone or some witch worked a spell yesterday, the kind that hasn't been seen since our great-great-great-grandma's days. I felt... Juniper's jaw works. She taps her chest and Agnes knows she's trying to find words to describe the swell of power, the sweet sedation of magic that's in her veins. Well, it felt impossible. Important. Don't you want to know where it came from? Don't you think that maybe it had something to do with that herd of suffragettes running around the square? I know that's what the police will think. Half the papers already call them witches. Don't be a fool, June. Please. Agnes is interrupted by Bella, who lunges forward from her seat at the foot of her bed to seize Juniper's plate. She clutches it, peering through her spectacles at the trio of yolky circles that Juniper's drawn on its surface. What is this? Juniper blinks down at the remains of her breakfast. Eggs? The design. Where did you see it, June? Juniper lifts one shoulder. On the tower of the door, I guess. Bella's head tilts owl-like. On the what? You didn't see the door? On my side of the tower there was a door, old and wooden and all overgrown with roses, where there were 3 circles on it overlapping, and words too, but I couldn't make sense of them. Bella's face goes taut, intent in the way that Agnes recalls from their childhood, when Bella would get to the good part of a book. Well, what language was it? And did they have circles? Did they have eyes or tails? Could they have been serpents, do you think? Maybe. Why? Bella ignores the question. Her eyes are searching Juniper's face now and they land on her lips where Agnes can see the dark blush of a bruise and the tattered red of torn skin, and Bella lifts her fingertip toward it, her expression filled with wonder or maybe terror. Maiden's blood.
she whispers. Juniper flinches at her touch. Bella's fingers fall away and Juniper's plate clings to the floor. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I have to go. I'm very sorry. She tosses the words behind her like coins for beggars, a careless jumble as she reaches for the door. What? You leaving? Juniper's sputtering, reddening cheeks. But I just found you. You can't just leave. Agnes hears the unspoken again and hovers in the air, but Bella's already gone, calling back carelessly, I rent a room in Bethlehem Heights between 2nd and Sanctuary. If you need me, I'll be there. Agnes watches her leave with a strange hollowness in her chest. Well, she scrapes her sister's eggs back into the pan with unnecessary force. Good riddance, I guess. Juniper whirls. And why's that? Because Bella can't keep a damn mouth shut. God knows what Daddy would have done if you hadn't... Agnes shivers hard, as if the winter had come early, as if she's 16 again and her dad is coming toward her with that red glow in his eyes. Juniper doesn't seem to have heard her, though. There's a glassy vacancy in her face that makes Agnes think of a little girl watching her father yell, with her hands pressed over her ears, refusing to hear. Agnes unpeels her fingernails from her palm and carefully doesn't look at the cedar staff propped up by the door. Yeah, my shift starts soon. I'll talk to Mr. Malton and see if they need another girl on the floor. You can, She swallows, feeling the bound of her circles stretch like seams that might split, and she makes herself finish the line. You can, stay here till you run your feet. But Juniper lifts her chin and looks down her crooked nose at... What happened? Tell me.
That was just Tommy. I'll be impressed because Daddy felt it on his fingers all the way.
Oh, fun. Yucky.
Let's see what we did.
Do you need help?
We'll see.
Okay, call me if you need me, Daddy.
Oh, very exciting. You're working on something.
Oh boy, fun for the whole family.
There's hiccups too.
But Juniper lifts her chin and looks down her crooked nose at Agnes. I'm not working at some factory. I already told you. I'm signing up with the suffragette ladies and I'm gonna find that tower. I'm gonna fight for something. It's such a younger sister thing to say that Agnes wants to slap her. In the witch tales, it's always the youngest who is the best beloved and the most worthy and the one bound for something grander than destiny of her sisters. The others are too ugly or selfish or boring to get fairy godmothers or even beastly husbands. The stories never mention the boarding house rent or the laundry or the aching knuckles from all the double shifts at the mill. They never mention babies that need feeding or choices that need making. Agnes swallows all those horseshit stories. Yeah, that's all well and good, but causes don't pay much, I heard. They don't feed you or give you a place to sleep. You need to... But Juniper's lips peel back in a sudden animal snarl. I don't need thrice damn things from you. She takes a step closer, finger aimed like an arrow at Agnes's chest. You left, remember? I made it 7 years without you, and I sure as shit don't need you now. Guilt worms in Agnes's belly, but she keeps her face set. I did what I had to. Juniper turns away, pulling on her cloak and running her fingers through her black bracken hair. Bella knows something, it seems. Is Bethlehem Heights in the city or the country? Agnes blinks. It's a neighborhood. On the east side, just past... Sorry. It's a neighborhood on the east side, just past the college. Less baby, more read it go, I know. You need help? Give me 2 seconds. Let me go give him a little bit of help. We'll be right back. We're just gonna pause for 1 second. I'm coming. I'm coming.
I didn't want to take the time and turn it off. I just rushed to help you. All right. Hello. Welcome. We're back. Cheers. I wish you could see her outfit though. She looks so cute. She's got these cute little floral pantaloons on them. It's good stuff. It's all good. We're back at it. All right. Could we possibly turn The Lion King down just a smidge? It's not really the vibe of this book. You can call her Jasmine. Hey, Daddy. Daddy, could we turn The Lion King down just a smidge?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
All right. It doesn't fit the vibe of our witch book. You have to put on witch music.
Sorry.
You can put on witch
I
instrumentals.
put on music when we're changing
That's
the
right.
diapers to make her a little happier.
It works. It's very good. All right. Guilt worms in Agnes's belly, but she keeps her face set. I did what I had to do. And Juniper turns away, pulling on her cloak and running her fingers through her back-breaking hair. Bella knows something, it seems like. Is Bethlehem Heights a county or a city? Agnes blinks. Well, it's a neighborhood on the east side, just past the college. Don't see why a city should need more than one name. Where's Second and Sanctuary, anyway? The streets are numbered, June. You just follow the grid. Juniper shot her a harassed look. How's that supposed to help if I don't know where? Her face goes blank. Her eyes trace some invisible line through the air. Never mind. I don't need a damn grid after all. She takes the cedar staff and limps, bless you, into the hall as if she knows precisely where she's going, which Agnes realizes she does.
Oh, sneeze. Okay. Why are you so sneezy? Bless you.
Sunshine? Could be.
Sunrise,
She might have what... Mommy gets it just from light changes, though.
What?
I get it just from light changes in the
Oh,
room.
gosh.
It doesn't have to be sun in my eyes.
Hey, honey.
It feels like it, too, a tugging between her ribs, an invisible kite string tight between her and her sisters, thrumming with unsaid things and unfinished business. It feels like a beckoning finger, a hand shoved between her shoulder blades, and a voice whispering a witch tale about three sisters, both lost and found. But witch tales are for children, and Agnes does not like being told what to do, so she shuts the door hard and cross-stitches her verse. The cross-stitch verse swings on its nails and listens alone to the uneven thump of her sister's footsteps. Three circles woven together, or maybe three snakes swallowing their own tails. Beatrice has seen this shape before. Beatrice knows to whom it belongs. The last of the three witches of the West. It's the sign the maiden left carved into the trunks of the beech trees, the sign the mother burned into her dragon-scaled armor, the sign the crone pressed into the leather cover of books. Beatrice has seen it printed in blurred ink on the appendices of medieval histories and described in journals of witch hunters, occasionally misidentified in church pamphlets as the sign of Satan. It does not belong in the modern world. It certainly doesn't belong in a city without sin carved into the door on a tower that shouldn't even exist. Beatrice escapes the labyrinth of the West Babel slums with her skin humming and her fingers shaking. She flags a trolley down and lets the electric whir down the electricity wear down the rising hustle of the city. It calls the west side of the street vendors and the misery of the mills and even the memories of her sister's faces, fresh and sharp as mint leaves in her mouth. They're alive, and as a whole, their daddy is dead. The thought is deafening, the flood of hope and the dread of hurt. Well, Mr. Blackwell isn't yet at his desk when Beatrice arrives at the library. Beatrice is relieved with that. There will be no one to see her pale face rumpled in the same dress that she wore yesterday. She left the window open overnight and her office smells cool and damp as if she's stepping into a starlit wood instead of a cramped room. The Sisters Grimm book lies open on her desk, its pages rippling softly in the breeze, and Beatrice flips to the final page of the story and traces a verse in faded ink. The wayward sisters hand in hand, as if it aged several decades since Beatrice last saw it. She thinks she might be losing her mind, and she turns to the title page, Tales of St. George and the Witches. Oh, sweet baby. Is she okay?
She's just a little fussy, that's all.
Okay.
Mama Mags's version was nothing like the Grimms, all neat and cheery. The way she told it, the last three had not flown to Avalon in terror, but in a desperate attempt to save the remnants of their power from the purge. They built something great and construct of stone and time and magic that preserved the wicked hearts of women's magic like seeds saved after the winnowing. Sometimes Mag said St. George simply torched their workings along with the three of them themselves. Other times she said that it had vanished along with the Isle of Avalon itself, drifting out of time and mind lost to the world. But, she would whisper with a wink, what is lost that can't be found, Belladonna? Mags had always called them by their mothers' names, the old-fashioned second names given by mothers to daughters, but St. Hale had found the practice blasphemous. Eventually, Beatrice had learned to forget the heathen indulgence of her mother's name and become merely Beatrice. Beatrice heard similar portents and promises over the years, and she's even heard it given the name The Lost Way of Avalon. It's an absurdity, she knows. The last three of them themselves are three-quarters myth and witch tale, generally only taken seriously by oracles or zealots or the occasional sedacious schoolgirl. And Beatrice doesn't see how witchcraft could be bound to a single place or object, and yet, yesterday, Beatrice stood beneath the light of strange stairs in the shadows of a black tower. Oh. Do you want me to hold her?
Oh, no, it's okay.
You okay? I can hold her if you want.
We're gonna rock for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, she wants to be rocked during story time. Yesterday, Beatrice stood beneath the light of the strange stairs in the shadow of a black tower where her sisters saw the sign of the last three. What is lost that can't be found? The words Mags taught them alongside 100 other songs and rhymes, senseless, silly, uttering insignificant to the grand warp and weft of time, unless they aren't. Unless they're the words of ways of waiting amongst the children's verses, powers passed in secret from mother to daughter like swords disguised as sewing needles. And Beatrice removes her little black notebook from its drawer and writes out the entirety of the tale of the sleeping maiden. She stares out the window, thinking of maidens and drops of blood and tales of towers and surrounded by roses and truths wrapped in lies. There's a strange wriggle in the corner of Beatrice's eye. Her gaze flicks back to the desk. There's an odd, many-fingered shadow cast over the Grimm's book, and she draws the page cautiously away. It's an unchanged, except perhaps that the ink is a shade paler and the paper slightly thinner. Older, maybe. The shadow hand retreats as she watches, coiling back into a dim corner of her office and lying still as if it were an ordinary shadow cast by a bookshelf or a desktop. Yeah, no, she's good. We're gonna go outside shortly because we're leaving in a few minutes. A cold foreboding spins over Beatrice's skin. She has the sudden urge to either fling the book out the window or clutch it tight to her chest. But before she can do either, there's a wooden knock against her office door, and Beatrice flinches, picturing the police or witch hunters, or at least Miss Munley, the secretary, but she feels an odd, silent tug and knows quite suddenly and illogically who's standing in the hall, beating her staff against her door. Her youngest sister glares at her as she opens it, her mouth thin and her eyes hot. If you wanted to run off, you shouldn't have left a breadcrumb trail behind you. And she waves her staff in mid-air, gesturing at the invisible thing between them. Oh, it must be a leftover effect of yesterday's event. A spell was begun but not finished, like a thread that wasn't tied off properly. Beatrice can see from Juniper's expression that she doesn't particularly care what it is or how it got there, just that it's half a step away from an act of violence, and Beatrice swallows. Well, come in then. I'm sorry I ran off this morning. It's about the tower, isn't it? You know what it is. Juniper gives her a searching look. I think it's the lost way of Avalon, she thinks. The thought is heady and dizzy, too dangerous to even speak aloud in the soft shallows of the halls of Salem College. I don't know. I'm considering some possibilities, is all. Juniper watches her with narrowed eyes, an expression that says she doesn't believe her, and is weighing whether or not to make something of it. Yeah, right. I can help you consider them. I'm not sure, and I'm joining the suffragette ladies, like I said. You know where to find them? They got an office somewhere, maybe? Three blocks north on St. Patience, but Beatrice wets her lips, unsure how much she should or shouldn't tell her baby sister who has become this prowling, perilous woman. But I'm not sure that the suffragists have anything to do with the tower or the spell we felt. She stumbles over the word, recalling the hot taste of witching in her mouth, and Juniper shoots her a look sideways. I might not have a lot of fancy schooling like you, but I'm not stupid. You don't get the devil's fever from standing around and watching, Belle. Mag said it comes to work and witching stronger than yourself. Beatrice is opening her mouth in confession or denial, but Juniper is already looking past her. Maybe you're right. Maybe they didn't have anything to do with it. Still, seems to me that they're the same thing, more or less. What are? Juniper's eyes reflect the bronze shine of St. George standing in the square. Witching and women's rights, suffragettes and spells. They're both like, she gestures in midair, they're both the kind of power, aren't they? The kind that we aren't allowed to have. The kind I want, says the hungry shine in her eyes. They're both just children's stories, June. Beatrice doesn't know if she's telling her sister this or herself. Juniper shrugs without looking away from the square. They're better than the stories we were given. Beatrice thinks about the stories they were given and doesn't disagree. Juniper's eyes slide to hers, flashing green. Maybe we can change it if we try. Skip into some better story. And Beatrice sees that she means it. That beneath all of Juniper's bitter rage, there's still a little girl who believes in happy endings. It makes Beatrice want to slap her or hold her or send Juniper home before New Salem teaches her different. But she can tell from the iron shape of Juniper's jaw that she wouldn't go, that she's charted a course towards trouble and she means to find it. I'll take you to the Women's Association after work. Yeah, I need a place to stay. And what about Agnes? Frost crackles down the line between them at the mention of her name. I see. Well, I rent a room a few blocks east. You're welcome to stay. She isn't sure how to end this sentence. Until women win the vote in New Salem, she thought, until they call back the lost way and return witching to the world, until the sullen red is gone from Juniper's eyes. But she says, until things settle down, she finishes lamely, and her sister smiles in a way that makes Beatrice suspect things, whatever they are, will not settle down. Dun, dun, dun! All right, well, we knew today was going to be a short one. Sorry about the diaper intermission, but we do have a doctor's appointment to go to. So I'll see you all tomorrow for more reading. And now I'm going to go see what's wrong with my baby. Bye, guys.